Define being irrelevant. So I was watching Everyday Struggle today, right? And there was a segment that I found very, very interesting. Freddie Gibbs recently said this about Young Jeezy on a podcast. Now keep in mind, there probably is still some friction between the two because there wasn't any closure amongst them, but this is what Freddie had to say. I love fam, I love bro, he's a legend, but right now you're irrelevant. And what you want to do? You want to fight? You don't want that. I love you fam, but you can't fight with me. You can't out-rap me. Now Akademiks and Wayno had an interesting debate about what relevancy really means when discussing this topic. Relevancy means to Akademiks when your music is doing something. He's basically basing it strictly off numbers, sales. He says, what relevancy does Freddie even have? Because he only sold 20,000. He's asking, in what type of demographic is he more relevant than Jeezy? We would never say that Freddie is hotter than Jeezy. More people consume Jeezy's content. I kinda get what Ak is saying. If you want to talk about who's selling more, I guess he's strictly talking about who's hotter, because he says if Jeezy puts out a project now, he's selling 50K off the bat. But then Wayno's take is, well, yeah, Jeezy been in the game for over 15 years, so he has that veteran status to do those kind of numbers now. And when we talk about relevance in terms of music, as far as music that impacts, Freddie is super relevant right now. He thinks it isn't about the numbers, so he doesn't understand how he could be irrelevant. If we're gonna measure up the most recent music amongst the two, they don't measure up together, because Freddie put out a better project than Jeezy recently. He also mentions how Akademiks said that Megan Thee Stallion only sold 30,000 last year, and I'm pretty sure we can all agree that she was quote unquote relevant last year, right? So those are two interesting opinions on how we define relevancy. For me personally, whether you have a fan base or not, because an artist is always gonna have a fan base, bro, period. Regardless of how many people you know or you talk about them. But whether you have a fan base or not, if you aren't doing the numbers, sales wise, views wise, streaming wise, mainstream wise, after you already blew up, then to me, you're irrelevant. Now don't get me wrong, that artist may be making amazing music still, sure, shit, they probably make music that is extremely relevant to current events, but is that artist being talked about amongst the masses? If not, then they are unfortunately irrelevant. That's just my opinion. What's your take on all this, guys? I'm curious to hear your opinions on this. I'll check you guys in the next video. Peace.